Hello and welcome to French Fried Trains. It's Saturday, June 22nd, at our normal spot in Carlilse, Ohio. While we did have things to do most of the day, I was able to go rail fanning for about an hour and a half. I didn't have to wait more than 20 minutes for this first train to appear, a southbound autorack train with 2 locomotives. Check that out, an SD42 leading and an SD43 square cab rebuild trailing. What an awesome locomotive set. This southbound autorack train was fully loaded with vehicles. Despite having a green clear signal, this train was not going at full track speed. I'm unsure as to why. These autorack trains are a very common sight here on the Toledo sub. He stayed at this steady pace the whole time. He didn't slow down, nor did he speed up to full track speed. And check out this old Burlington Northern car. With his slower speed, this autorack train just seemed to go on and on. And the end of this train is in sight. When at track speed, these autorack trains usually take an average of just over 2 minutes to go through here. This one took 4.5 or more. With his load of autoracks disappearing in the distance to the south, this train was on to bigger and better things. I waited around another 45 minutes or so before I heard the horn of the next train, a northbound, was heading this way. Here he comes now. A manifest train, and he is highballing it. This train is flying north, led by CSX number 123 and AC 44CW in the classic Y&2 paint scheme. An empty blue center beam car. And some empty flat cars, usually used to haul slabs of metal southbound. This is the daily empties heading north. For a while, these northbound empties would have their own train, but now more and more they're just tacked on to the end of a manifest train that's already going north. The sound of these fast empties flying over the rails is awesome. This is a pretty big cut. Once he had passed, I had decided to head home as I had errands to run that evening. But when I went over the rails, I saw the northbound light was already green, so I came back down here and I waited about 15 minutes and this guy was here. Another AC 44CW leads this train, also in the Y&2 paint scheme. Northbound auto racks, mostly empty, at track speed. And someone painted Apu from The Simpsons on that car. When you see an auto rack train in modern times, you know you're going to see some graffiti. I'm unsure how I feel about people ruining the railroad's property. I know I love when I see a character or some beautiful artwork on the side of a car, but I'm equally excited to see a nice, shiny, pristine car. I decided to walk down here to film this train, just to change up the perspective of the shots in this video. This autorack train is definitely hightailing it out of here. Autorack trains are second only to intermodal trains as far as priority on the CSX line. That was all the trains I got over the weekend, as I had things to do Saturday night and most of the day on Sunday. Monday evening was when I finally got to go back out rail fanning. I waited there for about half an hour, maybe 40 minutes, and we heard the horn of this southbound. A quick check of the signal shows he's coming into a yellow approach signal. A southbound manifest train, led by CSX 925 and ES44ACH. And in the trailing position, we have CSX number 123, which we just saw earlier in this video. And the daily slaps heading south start this train. Now we have some empty gondolas. And we're into a big cut of tanker cars. Now that the locomotives have passed the yellow signal at the beginning of this siding, they're beginning their slowdown. They'll be stopping 2 miles down at the south end of Carlilse siding. All these tank cars were carrying LP gas. This is an unusually large amount of tankers for just a manifest train. Some beat up CSX aggregate cars, and then we have a few tankers on the end of the train. It is odd that they would end a train with a tank car and not have a hopper full of sand as a buffer car on the end. Well, he did stay on the main. Like I said, he stopped at the south end of the siding to wait for a northbound train. I waited a good 5 minutes and didn't see any headlights, so I went and sat down. But 10 minutes later, this train was upon us. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, the main event which you probably clicked on this video for. CSX Spirit of Western Maryland leads this train. There it is, the Spirit of Western Maryland, and a GP40 trailer. It is unfortunate that CSX won't do full heritage units like Norfolk Southern does and paint their locomotives up. They just do these little stickers on the nose, but it's still exciting to see. Someone painted a big old eyeball on this gondola. As this train was making its way up the siding and I was watching its headlight approach, there was a cloud right over the sun, and I was debating whether to stay on the bench or come out where the sun would shine on this train. Luckily, the cloud passed just in time to have the locomotives be lit by the sun when they passed by. And a big cut of empty flat cars again. Well, that's it of this episode of French Fried Trains. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and everyone have a great week.